What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to look at how to do Glory of the Orgrimmar Raider. Now, we're in the first wing here, and so we're going to be doing Immersius, Fallen Protectors, Norishan, and Shah of Pride, and obviously we're going to start on Immersius. Now, the achievement here is called No More Tears, and the way this works is that basically you need to CC these black ads when he goes into his transition phase, because at some point, even if you don't kill them all, he'll actually come back up, and if he comes back up out of his transition phase, he's going to turn the ads into this thing here. I'm about to show you guys right there. You see that? The Shah. And you kill the Shah, and obviously its name is Tears of the Veil. So guess fucking what? You got to kill 10 of those things. Now, I cut through this a lot because this is pretty much the sloppiest achievement thing that we've ever done, and I just didn't want to see you guys, like, I didn't want to waste you guys' time watching us fuck this up a million times, and so I just kind of sped it up until we actually really kind of got the hang of it. Now, obviously, the best class to do this is a druid because they can CC them indefinitely with entangling roots. Another good thing to have is a shadow priest, or actually any priest, with void tendrils. And basically that will help them kind of CC, and if a Death Knight can grip all of them together with Gorfian's Grasp, I mean, you're golden. And the best way to do this is to kind of localize around one area in the room and CC all of the ads in that area rather than trying to have each have a two-person team like CCing each ad. I found that was just very, very difficult to deal with, and so as you can see right there, Death Knight, Death Grip them back, and I mean here we've really got a lot of them controlled. And another thing is you want to plan for being able to actually kill the boss before the enrage, because we actually ran into the enrage and it was a huge problem, and we didn't actually wipe obviously, but at the same time we came really fucking close to wiping. And so make sure that you're also planning on finishing the boss before the enrage actually happens. And if the rage does happen, you can like taunt with that by the sword. And the explosions whenever the ads hit the middle do not do enrage damage, so that's kind of good. Other than that, this is a pretty straightforward, easy achievement. The only thing you really need to remember here is that you need to CC the ads. Also, take off all cleave, multi-strike, legendary cloaks, all that stuff. And the reason for that, obviously, is because those things will cleave onto the black ads, or they have the possibility of cleaving onto the black ads. And the black ads have very little health, and so if you're, letting them die or you're killing them, you can't really afford too many mistakes on this because obviously it's kind of hard to coordinate. And so this is probably one of the hardest achievements to do in terms of like coordination. But as you guys can see here, I was yelling at everyone at this point, and so everybody really kind of got their shit together, and I think we got like 5 or 6 here or something like that. And so it really wasn't an issue, and this achievement's very easy to do as long as you know what you're doing. But if you're kind of clueless, then you're going to have some problems. You can root, you can stun, you can CC, you can slow them, you can knock them back. You cannot fear them. You cannot fear them. You can't do a couple other CCs, but pretty much all the other CCs you can. And there's him enraged, and we're pretty much about to kill him here. But you guys saw the two pretty much the good clumps that we had. And so again, it's just coordinated CC, and you're going to have this achievement done in no time. It's not even a problem. And so anyway, we're going on to the next boss, and this achievement here is called Go Long. And the reason why I have all these markers around here is we're going to be pushing He Softfoot first. I think He Softfoot. Yeah. And basically, whenever he goes into his Desperate Measures phase, he spawns Embodied Anguish. And Embodied Anguish basically gives you like a ball to hold onto, and you give you an extra action button. And whoever's holding the ball gets attacked by Embodied Anguish. And as you guys can see here, he's about to spawn. And I have one person standing at each marker, and they're going to throw it to each other. Because in order to get the credit for this achievement, you have to not only throw it to 5 unique players, you also have to make the Embodied Anguish run for 200 yards. And so as soon as the achievement, you can track this achievement by the way, and as soon as this achievement is, is white, it'll turn white on your screen. That means that you've completed the requirements, and you'll be able to do this achievement, or you'll be able to kill the boss normally. You only have to do this once. You do not have to do it for both Desperate Measures phases. My advice to you is to just push He alone and focus on doing this achievement at the very start of the fight, and that way you won't have to worry about it for the rest of the fight, and you can do everything else normally. As soon as you actually get this credit for this achievement and it turns white, you just have to do the rest of the boss normally, and that is literally it. You don't have to do anything else. Another thing I might mention, as you can see, I threw it to me, is when the achievement went white, and everybody's going to come, and yeah, I mean, everybody's just going fucking berserk on this thing. But one thing I should mention is he does do stacking debuff damage, and so, he does a stacking debuff that makes you take more damage over time. And so you want to make sure that if you are throwing it to someone, make sure you kind of prioritize throwing it to people with the best gear or the most cooldowns possible. And I would suggest, having people spread out around the room and kind of planning on who you're going to throw it on beforehand. And I'm just going to cut ahead to the next boss because I'm not going to have you guys sit through and watch us kill this guy. But, take my word for it, we killed it, and we got the achievement. And for this next one, it's called None Shall Pass. There's 2 strategies for doing this achievement, and we're going to do the Mongoloid strategy, which is basically no one goes down, no one clicks on these orbs except for healers, because whenever healers click on the orbs, then none of these small ads, because if you guys have never done this fight before, or if you want a reminder, basically Nourishan spawns 2 different ads, or the Amalgam Corruption spawns 2 different ads whenever you go down and you kill them. Whenever you kill them in like the Shadow Realm or whatever, they come up in the normal realm. And the small ads will channel a beam onto him in the same way that the last boss in Stormstout Brewery summons ads to channel a beam onto him. And so if you don't have the DPS to just push him without actually having anyone go down, my advice to you would be if you stand in between the ad and the boss, the ad will never actually channel on the boss and you can kill the ad. But if you have very good DPS, you can kill the ad before it even casts the channel at all. And so you can also stun it to prevent the channel, I think. But I was like disconnecting here and all kinds of other stuff, and so there'll be a couple of like, I don't know, it'll look a little weird, but hopefully it won't be too big of an issue. But if you do have good gear, I would say like Siege of Orgrimmar normal gear, like 550-ish. If your whole group is 550-ish, you can just sit here and Mongoloid them down, and it's not even going to be an issue. And you're never even going to have to think about the ads. Basically, the only thing you have to do here is kill the boss. If you do have an ad spawn, again, make sure everybody switches off and kills it immediately and stands in between it and the boss. And basically gets into line of sight from the boss. And as you see here, we're cutting over, and I'm dead because I disconnected in the middle of a beam and nobody life gripped me. But it doesn't matter. It's not like, I had a flask on or anything like that, or an elixir. Actually, I think I did. It doesn't matter either way. Guild pays for them. Anyway, so if you don't have the DPS, just make sure you stand in between the ad and the boss, and you kill the ad as fast as possible. And if you do have the DPS, just kill the boss. It's very easy, and just only have healers go down, and that's all you really need to have to go down. And we beat the Enraged by like 2.5 minutes, and so we had some 580 DPS. Honestly, we had some very good DPS in this group. But again, if you have 550 average DPS, because we also had some bad DPS too, if you have 550 average DPS, you should be able to do this easily. Other than that, I don't really even know why you'd be doing this anyway, if you don't even have 550 yet. But anyway, so the next boss here is Shadow of Pride, obviously, and the achievement is Swallow Your Pride. Now, if you guys have ever done this before, basically the way it works is that there's going to be a small ad that spawns, and you're going to need to kill this small ad that spawns in the back. The best way to do this is in 10-man, so you only have one ad. At 30%, you either complete this achievement or not, because you need to actually have Gift of the Titans whenever you do this achievement. And basically the way it works is whenever the ad spawns behind you, and I'm going to show you guys that in a minute, you need to stop it from casting a spell, casting this, I think it's a spell called Mocking Blast. And also whenever it dies, it's going to give pride to the closest 2 players, unless those players have, what's it called? The buff on them, the white buff. I don't really know why, I can't remember. Gift of the Titans right now. Gift of the Titans, and so if they have Gift of the Titans, they won't gain pride, and so you want to, whenever this big ad dies right here, have 2 people, the 2 closest people need to have Gift of the Titans on them. And as you can see here, we killed it, and we have very good DPS, and so obviously we didn't really need to worry about a second one. But at 30%, as soon as he casts Unleashed, you complete the achievement, so you don't really need to worry about after that, because Nourishan dies apparently, and you're no longer able to get Gift of the Titans. And so, again, make sure you interrupt Mocking Blast, and also this is easier done in small raid groups because you have to deal with less ads, less coordination, and that's actually pretty much it. You just need to make sure you do that, and also, as I said, I'll say one more time, the 2 closest people need to have Gift of the Titans on them, or it will fail the achievement. And honestly, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to have different parts for all of the different, I don't know, like wings of this. And so hopefully those will come out in the next couple of days. These achievements are pretty easy to get. The Shaw achievement and the Immersive achievement are pretty annoying, but as soon as you can figure those out, the other two are very easy to do. And that's actually pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and like,